My name is Zachary George. I'm a film student at Taylor University in Indiana.
And I'm Josie Kuntz, Zach's teammate. We're in a documentary class together, and we wanted to tell the story of Jason Reese and Caleb George, two boys facing similar adversities. Zach and I were inspired by their bravery. That's Jason. His family are friends of my family. We grew up in Plymouth, Indiana. Our dads even coached a Little League team together.
Jason is like my best friend and has always been there to support me for everything and through everything.
We kind of made him play football. He wasn't big on it, but he was good. You know, his thing was baseball.
The last time I seen him play baseball was like last summer, I'm guessing. So, and hopefully when he feels better, he gets to play again.
Jason's been fighting a health battle since January of this year. A health battle not much different from my 7-year-old nephew, Caleb.
I usually just do whatever I can to spend time with the kids, especially Caleb. I also really enjoy playing video games with Caleb, and that's probably about it.
We've been homeschooling for 2 years this year. He's a good student, even though he makes us laugh sometimes, but laughter's good medicine, so.
Two normal kids plagued by abnormal circumstances.
Looking back, he was having some signs and symptoms prior to us really finding out. I would say probably toward the middle of December, he was complaining about some vision issues. So the 14th of January, I had went to work, and he called me from school.
My head was just like hurting really bad, and I would like fall over and lose balance. And I told my mom about it, and she took me to Bremen Hospital.
Took him to his doctor. He did the same exam that he would if he had a concussion. His words, worst case, it's a tumor. And probably the worst thing they could ever say was, it's just there and there's nothing we can do about it.
Jason was diagnosed with DIPG, a rare form of childhood brain cancer.
So DIPG is diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. So it is a tumor that grows in the brainstem, almost like, so the infusion part it's just webbing around, and that is what makes it inoperable, because they can't go in safely without major setbacks to where they could lose so much, like walking and talking. And that's when they said, you know, prognosis is 9 to 12 months, so go make memories.
Radiation and chemotherapy for DIPG are only in trial stages, making DIPG currently incurable. The Reeses stayed at Riley's for a few days before getting sent home. They then applied to other children's hospitals.
St. Jude's called us and said, we can take him. When we got there, we thought we were just going to meet his team, get his MRI done, and then they were going to send us home, then come back and then follow up with the rest of his treatment. That wasn't the case.
They put Jason on a trial medicine and started treatment right away. They made over 10 trips to Tennessee.
Back at my nephew's house, the family noticed Caleb wasn't acting like himself.
And he was starting to get so weak, and we had to rush him into the emergency room. They did a CT scan on him, and that's when they found that massive tumor that he had in his brain.
Caleb was diagnosed with ependymoma, which is a type of cancer found wrapped around the spinal cord and in the brain. Chemo doesn't work on this cancer, but it is operable.
I mean, from the moment you hear that, everything just kind of stops. I just didn't know if he was gonna make it. Was it the last time that I was gonna play video games with him? Was it the last time I was gonna get the chance to, spend time with him?
We didn't speak any words to each other. We literally just took turns crying.
Jason and his family channeled their energy into finding a cure for DIPG.
We are doing our first annual Reese's Family Ribs fundraiser for Jason Reese and also childhood cancer awareness. So we will be doing this every year on on Labor Day weekend. We are donating 10% of all of our profits to DIPG research this year.
Childhood cancer is real. 250 families will tuck their kids in for a final time every night. My hope is that not one more family will have to hear those words. And my hope is that he is going through all of this to help find that cure.
I'm in the process of going to Washington, D.C. with DIPG Advocacy Group. We are in the process of lobbying for more funding for childhood cancer. I think it's 4% cancer research funding goes to childhood cancer. The funding that we're asking for childhood cancer is not just for Jason, it's for all the kids after Jason.
The DIPG Advocacy Group actively contacts Congress, proposes House resolutions, holds rallies, all fighting for the lives of children with no solution so that more research can be done. In the middle of our filming, Jason's condition took a turn for the worse. He was rushed to St. Jude's and spent a week battling for his life. Ultimately, his family decided to take him off the trial medicine. They have since been able to bring him home. They know that Jason doesn't have much more time.
I'm very thankful for the time that God has given us extra with Jason, because I know he could have easily taken him away from us by now. But I think he did this to bring us all closer together. I guess everything happens for a reason. Maybe this was his reason to say, hey, you guys need to cherish each other.
My nephew Caleb's next step was to go into proton radiation, where the goal was to eliminate tumor cells with x-rays. It was a lot of long days at the hospital for everybody.
Boring. This is boring. This is boring.
After several months, Caleb completed proton radiation. Over a year after it all began, Caleb would go into one more surgery, hopefully removing the tumor for good.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you today, and we just pray that Caleb's surgery goes well and that you be with the surgeon, guide him, and help him to get the rest of this tumor accurately and safely. Pray that Caleb continues to be brave and that he heals well. Pray that you give us peace as we wait, and we thank you for our blessings.